We've had a bullish 24 hours. The fear and greed index is back to neutral. The RSI on the daily and on weeklies, they were very oversold. Now they're going back to neutral as well. The dominance is also below the 60% once again. Is the bottom already in? Are we out of a trouble? So today we're going to analyze a few important data from long to short ratio to liquidation heat maps and more data so that we can guesstimate which direction the market will go throughout the weekend and maybe in the next week. So this and more in today's video. Stay tuned. Welcome to the topics once again. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I hope the markets are treating you well. And if unfortunately the market's not treating you well, maybe you should check out last video on how to make consistent income from crypto with two very simple strategies. So check that video out if you haven't seen it. But today we're going to be analyzing more data. We're going to be looking at some numbers here, some statistics to see or maybe to guess if the market has bottomed out. Personally, maybe that could be if we have a good combination of economical news, of geopolitical news, followed by good market and a lot of inflow of cash into crypto, into Web3, then for sure we could be seeing good returns for maybe even the end of February, which hasn't been a very good month for crypto overall, especially Ethereum. If you, like me, are holding some Ethereum bags, that hasn't been doing us very good. So let's actually start with the returns, the historical returns for Bitcoin and ETH. You can see monthly returns right here for Bitcoin have been 9.29% in January and minus 3.4% in February. And that is already accounting for current prices. If we actually switch to Ethereum right here, these get a little bit uglier because January was negative 1.28 and February minus 15%. So ouch, that really hurt. And Ethereum has way more red overall. If you just zoom out and look at the colors, there's pretty much even amounts of red and green here if we compare that to Bitcoin. Bitcoin seems on a quick glance that it has way more green months than red months. So is Ethereum doomed? Again, I'm getting kind of sick of holding Ethereum bags and that not performing because, for example, for Solana, even though Solana is going up and down 60, 70 bucks in a matter of a week, I am still profitable. I have been profitable with Solana, especially if I look to my spot positions, because those I keep DCAing at very good prices and then it keeps bouncing back up, bringing me to a place where I can exit partially, waiting for another correction. For Ethereum, it is just dead in the water, you know, it's just dead beat and it doesn't have that bullishness or that volume, that implied volatility for me to hope that it's going to go up anytime soon. So I'm looking at maybe finalizing my ETH positions or just keeping 10-20% of the current position that I have, at least once I have a better P&L, and then just close it out and migrate to another L1, maybe XRP, maybe Solana, maybe something else. But like many others, now I just have to hold and pray for it to get back up towards the $3,000, maybe $4,000 again. Now, looking at liquidations, past 24 hours have been bad for short positions. They have been liquidated. Almost 79% of all positions liquidated were short positions, and $304 million in the past 24 hours were wiped from the markets. The only coins that actually liquidated more longs than shorts were Doge, were XRP, were Trump, and BNB, and a few others. But these are the biggest ones that actually were liquidating more longs, so they were not looking very good on the upside, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. For the liquidation map, we can see that we are still skewed a little bit on the short side, so that balance will happen eventually. If we switch that to Ethereum, you can see that we are completely over just one side over to the other, and shorts are having a hard time with this. You can see the cumulative long liquidation leverage is very high, so there's a lot of longs right here. Maybe we're gonna have tomorrow or maybe the whole weekend a bad weekend for Ethereum because we're not balanced right here right now. And even Solana does have also a very unbalanced here towards the long side. There's a lot of short liquidations but not enough long liquidations. You see, we only have just a few here shorts compared to the amount of longs that we have on this side. So again, we could be wiping them out throughout the weekend, maybe just tomorrow, who knows. This is just a speculation that something is going to happen towards the downside because we are unbalanced. So BTC in the 24 hours, you can see how strong we had points, specific points right here of interest for Bitcoin The first one was 98,800 and then 99,300. So we are looking back towards the 100,000, which does not have a strong heat right here, a strong place here for liquidation, but we're still looking very, very bullish by looking at this. If we switch to Ethereum seems that it gave everything that it had. So right here, we got a huge push from that cascade effect when it starts to filling orders and pushing all the orders together. It seems that we lost that little momentum. We got back right here, and maybe we're going to push to the 2,900, but Ethereum hasn't shown a lot of strength for this specific reason. If we switch for Solana, for example, Solana is looking once again for the 170. It tested the 180, and now it's testing the 180 again, but the 170, it has a very, very strong magnet right here. So this could be a place where we're going to be looking in the next maybe 24 to 48 hours throughout the weekend. We have a very bearish prediction for the next 24 to 48 hours. You see, we have 38% of the sentiment is bearish, 13% very bearish. Then we have 10% very bullish and 15% bullish, with the remaining 24% on neutral. So this gives a prediction, not where the market's going to be, but just like the Fear and Greed Index, this gives a sentiment of what the market is feeling, and not always the market is right. Looking at the RSI, we see that there's a lot of tokens overbought. So MKR, BNX, OHM a little bit, S is also on the overbought range. So a lot of these are getting, but all of them seems to be moving up. So you see all of them have this trail behind them that goes up from the bottom up. So this means that they had a strong momentum in the past 24 hours. For example, this is on the RSI heat map. And if we look at the visual screener right here for price change versus volume change, you see there's a lot of tokens that are starting to be very, very bullish right now because they're getting a lot of volume. For example, a Ponk that had a volume change of 1,300%. We also have IP, which has been popular for the past 24 hours, and then a few other tokens that are very, very bullish, with a few exceptions of coins that are not doing very, very good and look a little bit bearish. So again, before we end the video, this does not mean that the market's going to fall, but usually when we have strong green days on the daily, especially if we are inside a testing range like we are for Bitcoin and a little bit for Ethereum, these tend to be green days, red days, green days, red days. So if you're trading 0DTs, if you're trading 0DT spreads, or if you're just longing or shorting futures with leverage, the daily charts, and knowing if this is a good day, then the next one could be a short day, this could give you an advantage into making more money with crypto. So this is more for traders, active traders, than for people who are just trying to spot hold, buy and hold some tokens and hold the bags throughout this cycle. So if that's your case, DCAing is always the best, in my opinion. You should just keep doing recurrent buys, maybe on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. More than that, it doesn't make sense, but weekly to monthly is the sweet spot right here for your DCA if you're gonna hold these tokens for a whole cycle, maybe even 5 to 10 years. So if that's the case, these metrics that I'm showing, they don't matter as much if someone who is here for the long term, especially who is here for spot positions. So I hope this was insightful. If it was, comment down below. Let me know if everything is going fine, especially if you are in the copy trading. A lot of people are very, very happy with the copy trading. We saw Crypto Ricardo mentioning that last time. And also I was able to convince a few of my friends who did not want to do anything active to try out the spreads. So the spreads are a very good way for you to make a little bit more than just the copy trading, with that twist of you actually having to do some active work there. So thank you very much. Have a good and safe weekend, and I'll catch you guys on Monday for another video here on the topics. Thank you. Peace.